He was communicating on a secret app with Israeli intelligence while in the White House. That means he's a traitor to our country, and he was a mole put there by the, I'm going to guess, the deep state, put in Trump's cabinet by the deep state to sabotage to sabotage any peace talks he would have, and to make sure we went to war with Iran at the behest of Israel. So it turns out there was a mole in Donald Trump's administration in the White House, and they found him and they got rid of him. His name is Mike Waltz, and he was more, it appears he was way more loyal to Israel than the United States, like most of our politicians, by the way.
Yeah, a mole? I mean, that...
Well, here, let's listen. James Lee's going to get this. Here's James Lee. He says, let me get this straight. The punishment for Mike Waltz allegedly coordinating with Netanyahu to bomb Iran and using an Israeli app that exposed U.S. classified information is a cushy appointment at the as UN ambassador? Sure, it's cushy, but he's out of the White House. Best you can do with a traitor on behalf of Israel is to get him out of the White House. That's it.
Well, where do you think you live, James? Do you think this is a real country?
So here's what James Lee has to say. Listen, this, hold on to your, because this is going to blow it off. Watch.
I guess there are limits in this White House. Trump finally fired someone, his national security advisor, Mike Waltz, and this story is absolutely wild. First, a little backstory. Mike Waltz is the same guy who accidentally added a journalist into a highly sensitive Signal group chat in which high-level officials were discussing attack plans. He claimed that the phone number was somehow sucked in.
How's the number on your phone?
Well, if you have somebody else's contact and then then somehow it gets sucked in.
Sucked in or not, whatever that means, that should be a fireable offense. I mean, imagine if you or I did something like that at our job, we would be fired instantly. But anyway, Trump looked into it and he stuck with his man at the time. Now, fast forward to a couple days ago, Mike Waltz was caught using Signal again, this time in a cabinet meeting, except it wasn't the regular Signal group chat that you and I would download. He was caught using something called TM Signal, which is an Israeli modified version of Signal with archiving features to receive and relay potential classified information.
So what that means is, he was communicating on a secret app with Israeli intelligence while in the White House. That means he's a traitor to our country, and he was a mole put there by the, I'm going to guess, the deep state, put in Trump's cabinet by the deep state to sabotage to sabotage any peace talks he would have, and to make sure we went to war with Iran at the behest of Israel. Just like we went to war in Iraq at the behest of Israel. Just like we went to war in Libya at the behest of Israel. Just like we went to war in Lebanon. Just like we went to war with the Houthis right now. Just like we went to war in Syria. It was all at the behest of Israel. And that's why he's there. And that's why they caught him. Kurt, have you noticed that this has been reported in corporate media that he was using an Israeli version of Signal? Did you?
First time hearing about it, Jimmy.
Okay, here we go.
And the story that just broke this morning is that Waltz was fired because he, quote, engaged in intense coordination with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu about military options against Iran ahead of an Oval Office meeting between the Israeli leader and Trump. The view by some in the administration was that Waltz was trying to tip the scales in favor of military action and was operating hand in glove with the Israelis. This is the national security advisor just casually texting a foreign government on the side in a cabinet meeting. A Trump advisor told the Washington Post, quote, "You can't do that. You work for the president of your country, not a president of another country."
Well, I guess the good news is that Israel still feels the need that they have to spy on our country. And that, I guess that means they haven't taken it over completely. So
yeah, you don't have a best friend that put a spyware in your phone?
Right, yeah. Okay, there's more to this.
To me, that's treason. No, working hand in glove with a foreign president to possibly undermine U.S. national security interests, gotta be treason. Agree? Disagree? But alas, I guess the repercussion for that nowadays is just a cushy appointment to be the next ambassador to the United Nations. This government is not serious.
Yeah. So we're run by Israel. What do you want to say?
James should look into 9/11 while he's looking at. Oh, is it treason? Yeah, it is treason. Throw it on the pile.
Yeah. He's young. Got to cut him some slack. He's young.
No, I know he's good. I think he does great work, but I'm amazed watching people that are smart not. I always want to see that moment when their light bulb came on. Like, I wonder if those other things might have some problems.
Just to go back, flashback. Here's General Mark Milley, who, by the way, now works for Wall Street. He's now a banker. Isn't that amazing?
Heroes.
Isn't that amazing? He's the real. He said that the bank. He gave a speech to Wall Street, and in that speech, he said, "You're the real heroes."
He ditched the zeros and got with the heroes.
Yeah. How much money does it take for a general to say bankers are the real heroes? I'm going to guess a couple $1 million.
I'll bet it's even cheaper.
I bet it is cheaper. Steak dinner. Flashback. General Mark Milley said he would tell China ahead of time if the United States was planning to attack China. And he had a secret call with China behind Trump's back. So that's also called treason.
Well, they had that COVID project, and we're not going to look into the extent of the treason because it extends all through COVID and the vaccine and all that. There's a lot of treason around.
Yeah. So, and here's Business Insider. Trump says top U.S. generals should be tried for treason for intervening to prevent a war in China. Did he get a pardon too from Biden?
Yes, he did.
He got a pardon because everybody knew he's a traitor to our country and committed actual treason.
Oh, he's an absolute Manchurian candidate robot for the New World Order. See, the deep state's not one faction. You understand? They're vying. This is eugenicists.
Yeah, well, you go to the council.
Survival of the fittest.
If you go in the Council on Foreign Relations, that's the basically conglomeration of the deep state. All those corporations that sponsor
it was established as that.
Yeah,
yes, it was, and that's way back when we got in World War I. It's in that book, Tragedy and Hope. But yeah, that is we got taken over a long time ago, quite a long time ago.
Just make a list in your head of all the people that actually should be up for treason trials, and the list would be longer than the last State of the Union address. I'll tell you that.
And they all took, I've never saluted the flag in my life because it was against my religion. You're not supposed to take blood oaths if you're a Christian. But all these people did. They all took oaths that they violate over and over again. How do you square that with yourself? You just constantly do that.
So Trump didn't even just flat out fire him. Trump gave him another job.
He put him out of the way, but he can't fire him. That's Israel. Clinton, I can't remember the name of the spy that we had that Clinton was not going to free. Clinton didn't want to let him go. It was an Israeli spy. Do you remember that?
I do not.
An Israeli spy. Well, he wouldn't let him go, and wouldn't you know it, a nice Jewish girl blew him under a desk and it suddenly created a problem for him. Right after he didn't want to let that Israeli spy go. And that's
so I've heard that before. I've heard that she was an op.
Yeah. So I mean, all the things. It's so amazing to look back and your take on it back then and see now how you get chumped at every turn.
Come see us live in Los Angeles, Buffalo, Toledo, Montreal, Ottawa, Glasgow, Manchester, Belfast, Dublin, London, Liverpool, Birmingham. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.